When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. This is part 1 of The Son of Brainiac. Now let's continue where I last left off in our story. Deku stared passively at Muscular as he got into his fighting style or stance. As green electricity begins to emanate off his body more frequently, Deku stepped right in front of Muscular and slammed his fist into the side of his ribs. The moment his fist made contact with Muscular's body, there was a slight flash of green as Muscular was electrocuted from Deku's electric fists. He felt like he got shot by a very overpowered stun gun. Muscular immediately began to back off by leaping backwards. To get some distance, he wasn't expecting the brat to hit him with the electric base punch. He's never seen electric use in that manner before. The simple fact that he implemented whatever quirk he has in his fighting style. Unknowns to Muscular, he's not fighting someone with a powerful quirk. He's fighting against someone can't even comprehend. He doesn't realize how much danger he's actually in. You feel that, Muscular? That feeling in your gut? That's slowly nagging at your mind? That, my Muscular friend, is fear. It's a truly wonderful emotion that all carbon life forms display. Not only I'm going to make you feel fear, I'm going to make you feel true despair. Deku appeared right in front of Muscular without him even realizing it. Deku's fist made contact with Muscular's face as there was a slight sonic boom sound as he went flying into building after building. Deku appeared right behind Muscular while he's flying into the buildings and grabbed him by the face, or back of the head, and slammed him into the ground, making a huge shock wave that instantly destroyed the street beneath him. Even with his muscle fibers active, he still could feel the extreme amount of pain as Muscular coughed up blood. Deku stared down upon the beaten and battered Muscular with a cold expression on his face, and narrowed his eyes down upon him like he was nothing but annoyance and a piece of trash. Muscular barely had enough strength to flip himself over on his back as he coughed up blood, as he stares at the opposing figure of Deku. That strength. I felt like I was getting hit by the #1 hero, All Might himself. As he continues to cough up blood, Muscular struggled to get to his feet. He's barely standing. He could clearly feel several of his ribs are completely broken. Muscular mustered what strength he had and activated his muscle fibers in his arm, then swung his arm at Deku. Deku, seeing this, as he kicked a humongous fist out of the way with his foot and landed a powerful palm strike in the middle of the chest, making wind pressure shoot out of the back of Muscular. Muscular fell forward. Deku, seeing this, slammed his foot across Muscular's face, slamming him into the nearby wall. As Deku slammed his foot onto his chest and pinned him to the side of the wall. What are you? Fought many people, but I've never fought anyone like you before. It's quite simple, Muscular. I am death, despair, in a physical form. I'll let you on a little secret. Your planet is doomed. What do you mean by that? Sorry, Muscular, but no spoilers. As he knocked him out by throwing a devastating punch in the middle of his forehead. Had a couple of brainiac bots transport Muscular back to the base. The brainiac bots teleport themselves, Muscular, to the base and place the subject, or the test subject, in a containment cell with a black collar around his neck that injects a green serum, keeping his quirk suppressed. The brainiac bots kept him healthy by healing him of all his injuries. After all, he wouldn't be a very good specimen if he wasn't healthy. If he wasn't healthy, he wouldn't survive what's to come next. Muscular woke up and found himself on a metal table that has some sort of shackles built onto it, keeping him from moving his arms and legs because of the shackles that are around his ankles and wrists. What the hell, where am I? I see, you're finally awake, Muscular. You're in my personal laboratory, my home base, a lair, like you villains like to call them. Why haven't you killed me already? Kill you? Why would I do such a thing like that? You're far more useful to me. Alive. For now. Don't delude yourself thinking you will survive this. Once I've learned everything about your species, and your quirk, and your anatomy, you will be dissected, and all your organs will be stored away for future study. You're crazy. I'm far from being crazy. I simply want to learn about your species. In order to do so, I need specimens such as yourself. After all, sacrifices are needed to advance science. Won't take part of any of your crazy experiments, you bastard. You honestly think you have a say in the matter? Two round-looking brainiac bots, in the shape of a large orb, float above Muscular, as he's still strapped onto the metal table, or metal slab. Suddenly, they start to shift into different shapes, as several sharp tools pop out of their round body. Muscular's eyes widen, seeing all the sharp tools popping out of the weird-looking floating orbs, or metal floating orbs above him. Let's get started, shall we? Deku proceeds to run several inhuman experiments on Muscular for 3 weeks straight, breaking the man's spirit, body, and soul. Muscular's body is being dissected after he got enough information about about his body structure and begin to chop off limbs of Muscular, put in cold storage for future study. As once he dissected what he needed and gathered enough samples of the cork gene for further study, he had plenty of his organs that were placed in cold storage for further study, like I said prior. Deku placed the brain of Muscular in a glass jar and filled it up with weird green liquid and placed it on the shelf where he's going to store all the brains he's collected for his experiments. It just happens to be Muscular seems to be the first edition. As a brainiac bot, hand over a towel over, as Deku wiped the blood from his face as he walked into a separate room and get a change of clothes. Well, take a shower, then get a change of clothes. He got dressed and began to walk down the street of the city that he was in before he captured Muscular. As he returned back to the city where he captured Muscular, he's already decided on his next target. He heard word of a villain that doesn't have a human body. It is completely made of sludge. He goes by the name of the Sludge Villain. Specific specimen, it's been tricky trying to locate. It never stays in one place for very long. He kept tracking this Sludge Villain for months now. 4 months now. No sign of him. But there's one thing Deku has a large quantities of, is patience. After all, time is meaningless for him. He'll never grow old and die. That doesn't make him immortal, but he can't die from old age. He would have to be killed in order for him to die. And there's only a few life forms that has that capabilities in the wider galaxy that has that kind of power. And Deku is just getting stronger the more he learns, the more information he absorbs. Deku knows if he took one of the heroes to use one of his test subjects, their disappearance would be noticed and cause unwanted attention upon himself. He wants to avoid that at all costs. That's why he's only been targeting villains that are not too well known. Muscular was well known enough, but no one will miss him. When he finally tracked down his quarry, he was attacking a blonde teenager that seems to have the power of explosions. He seems to be able to unleash them in the palm of his hands. The heroes are surrounding the area, blocking any of the civilians getting any closer. He hovered up to a nearby roof and watched from afar. It seems like he was too late. Let's see how this plays out. I might not be able to capture the Sludge Villain, but I can still gather some important data. Deku used his eyes to do a diagnostic on the Sludge Villain and a very young, angry blonde. The perks of being a biological android. He could see from a long distance and do biological scans just by looking at someone. Izuku could easily tell he wasn't alone on the roof as he narrowed his eyes. Reveal yourself. I know you're there. You can't escape my senses. Most impressive. Not a lot of people can able to sense my presence. I gotta say, I'm a bit of a fan of yours. Truly an admirer of your work. Fan, as Deku raised his eyebrow at All for One. You do excellent work. Most impressive how you handle Muscular. I'm gonna take a wild guess. You saw that, did you? Guilty as charged. I saw it from beginning and end. Not sure what you did to Muscular afterwards, but I'm guessing he's no longer in the land of the living. You are correct. The one known as Muscular is no longer part of the living coil. His death wasn't for nothing. I learned much from his corpse. You got me curious. Why would you be so interested in Muscular's remains? Very well, I will enlighten you. Only because you're not a threat to me. I could vaporize you on that I could vaporize you on that very spot. I don't get anything after such actions. Cause too many unwanted eyes upon me. I've captured Muscular for the singular purpose of studying the cork chain. And I did learn much, but I'm still studying the singular parts of the remains of Muscular to further my research. I'm surprised you're openly talking about dismembering someone, like it's a daily occurrence. Why wouldn't I? He's nothing but an animal to me. A lower life form, if I want to title something. Now let's get to the main subject. Wouldn't you agree? You're a very interesting young man. Not only did you threaten me, you didn't even show any signs of fear. Not a lot of people who can do that have the guts to threaten me, boy. But I'm not an idiot. I could sense you're dangerous and powerful. But you are correct. Let's get to the main subject of hand. Why I approach you here today. I could use someone like you in my organization. So you're here to recruit me. Interesting. What is this mysterious organization of yours? The League of Villains, of course. So you're one of these villains. How quaint. I'm not just one of these villains. I am the head honcho villain. I'm the #1 villain in Japan. All for One. Now I remember I came across that name when I was doing some research on this city. Not enough. A little bit of information about you, All for One, but not a lot. But what benefit will I get if I agree to join your little League of Villains? I have the ability to grant people quirks, and I'm able to take them away as well. As impressive that is, All for One, I have no desire to have one of these quirks. I don't need them, nor do I desire them, but there is something you can get me. And what would that be, my boy? I have a keen interest in studying quirks. Therefore, I need specimens for my experiments. If you're able to acquire a sturdy supply of specimens for me, I'm willing to join your little league of yours. I would prefer the specimens to be alive, though. I get more data from living test subjects than the dead ones. You drive a hard bargain, but I believe that can be accomplished. You got yourself a deal, all for one. But it would be unwise to go back on your deal. Just a bit of friendly advice. As if you back out, that will be the last thing you ever do. All for one knows that wasn't friendly advice. That was a threat. But All for One is not an idiot. He would rather have him as an ally than an enemy. What do you go by, my boy? Deku. I go by All for One, as he shook Deku's hand. Welcome to the league, Deku. Deku gave All for One a nod. Deku decided to play nice with the League of Villains. He'll get what he requires to complete his research on the humans of this world. Only reason he's even entertaining the idea of working with lower life forms is thus the reward would be far more rewarding than trying to capture people himself. But of course, once he learned everything he needs to learn, he'll finally reveal his true motives and take this planet and start the invasion. But until then, he'll play like he's a good little subordinate. All for One gave him a card where the League of Villains base address is written on it. Take this. On this card is the address to one of our locations. Come by sometime tomorrow at 4 p.m. I should have everything ready by then. I could integrate you into the league more smoothly by then. My apprentice that runs the league in my stead, he can be a little arrogant, but he's learning. I do apologize for his behavior beforehand. Very well, I'll see you around 4 p.m. tomorrow. Deku opened a digital portal back to his laboratory in Mount Fuji. As the portal immediately closed right behind him, he immediately begins to do more research of the remains of Muscular, learning about the species' autonomy more closely. There's only so much he can learn just from one sample. He needs to do research on several more samples to compare notes between several different bodies. He won't have to dissect the next sample. He'd learned everything he could from dissecting the first one using such methods. He'll have to kill the samples afterwards, but he won't necessarily need to dissect them. But he'll still remove the brain for further study. Fascinating. According to the data, Muscular Quirk altered his personality when his quirk awoken, increasing his anger and violence slightly. I wonder if all quirks cause this. I wonder how their personality differs compared to other people with their own quirks, slowly altering someone's personality. I wonder if it's an isolated case. I won't know until I have more samples to learn from. We cut to the League of Villains. That's All for One is baffled when he shook Deku's hand. He couldn't feel anything. Not a quirk, not even a quirk gene. Wasn't even present in his body. He's never seen someone without a quirk gene before. Even the quirkless have an unactive quirk gene in their body, half developed. But still, to find someone that doesn't have a quirk gene, there's nothing there. And yet he displayed having very powerful powers. like he has multiple quirks. The anomaly, known as Deku, complex all for one. First, he thought he had a similar quirk, like himself. Short pause. I always found it odd that all for one named himself after his quirk, or he named his quirk after his villain name. I'm not really sure what came first. That's just a weird thing I found weird about the anime and the manga or the series in general. Now, let's continue with our story. Master, with all due respect, I believe it's a bad idea to recruit this one. Interesting, you never shown any opinion on any of our recruits beforehand. What makes this one so different? I know he's a bit of a wild card. Can't describe it, Master. Everything in my being tell me he's an alpha predator. He's a major threat. We don't know where he came from or what actually his powers are. The subject of his powers is a mystery. I know for one thing, he doesn't have a quirk. He doesn't even have a quirk gene, but yet he displayed powerful abilities. None the same. I find it very odd. He's researching quirks, considering his own powers and abilities are far more above most quirks. He doesn't seem to be interested in acquiring quirks himself, but study them. But you are correct. We need to be cautious and suspicious. I have no doubt he has his own motives and goals. As long as his motives and goals don't go against with the League's business, it shouldn't be a problem, Kirigiri. As you wish, Master. He'll be coming by tomorrow. I want you to keep a close eye on him, nevertheless. I'll take care of it, Master. As Kirigiri opened the portal leading back to the bar and continued his daily activities. The next day, Deku was making his way over to the bar, taking the local bus. He could easily fly there, but he doesn't want to draw too much attention to himself. For right now. He'll act like a normal human on this planet, like a villain, until he gathered all the necessary data from this world. Then he'll officially begin his invasion, but until then he must act the part. This planet is only a stepping stone for him. The main goal has always and always will be the Green Lantern's homeworld, Oa. Betray himself as a normal human, temporarily, while he's on this planet. While riding the bus, he noticed time has stopped. Even the bird flying in the sky outside is stuck in place. Deku sensed someone sit next to him. Hello, Brainiac Zero. I think it's about time we officially met. Still, Death of the Endless finally chose to grace me of her presence. I'm surprised you know of me. Don't play me as a fool, Endless. Everything Brainiac knows, I know. I hope you're not here to interfere with my plans. Oh, heavens, no. As unpleasant the fate of this planet is, you were always meant to come here. The fate of these interesting humans has always laid in your hands. I only came here to finally meet you. But there's still time for you to change course. You know you don't have to blindly follow Brainiac. Don't mistake me for a sentimental fool. There is no love between me and my father. There's respect, but nothing more. Brainiac is unable to display such emotions. Then why do you follow him? so fiercely is quite simple. To kill the son of Krypton. I was created for that very purpose. I'm only following my programming. But you're not a robot, you're flesh. I'm a biological android, Death. Very well, just remember, despite your programming, you have your own free will. I look forward to your choices in the future. I'll be watching as Death gets engulfed in smoke, as the smoke goes out of the window of the bus. As time resumes, Deku just look at the spot where Death was, only to see an empty seat. Deku turned his head to look out the window. He is relieved that Death will not interfere in his plans. The last thing he needs is the nosy endless, popping in and popping out and ruining his plans. He knows for a fact he won't be able to destroy Death. She's too powerful. The bus finally stopped. As he got off the bus and walked down the street, walked towards the sealed off part of the city. The whole section of the city is run by villains, is surrounded by a huge stone wall, basically stone wall, blocking this part of the city from the rest of the city. There is 2 guards standing in front of the gate to enter the sealed off part of the city. Deku walked past the front gate. When he got out of the sight from the security guards, he jumped up the wall and land on the other side on his feet. He's taking a chance to pay attention to his surroundings. The last time he was here, he couldn't really check this place out because he was fighting Muscular. He would occasionally see a hero patrolling the area, as a tall, dark-skinned woman with long white hair and red eyes jumped right in front of him. Deku hopped backwards to get some distance as he skid to a stop. Impressive battle response. You've clearly seen battle. You're definitely not a hero. Possibly a villain. Maybe vigilante. But those are my only suspicions only. You know this place is dangerous for a civilian. Thank you for your concern. I'm fully capable of defending myself, hero. Really now? What if I don't believe you? She's hoping to draw him into a fight. She could tell, just by looking at him, and how he presents himself. He's powerful. Interesting, I see what you're doing, trying to pick a fight with me. You can't blame a girl for trying. So what do you say? You want to go around? I suppose I have some time to kill. Very well. Deku blocked a fast incoming kick from Mirko, creating some wind pressure that caused Deku's long hair to blow in the wind. I was definitely right about you. You're not just some normal civilian. Not bad, you managed to block one of my kicks. That's not an easy feat to accomplish, pretty boy. I gotta admit, you have very impressive powers in those legs of yours. Deku broke his block and proceeded to kick the hero in the stomach, making her go skidding backwards. Instead of pissing her off that he thought she would be, her expression was just a crazy grin, as she's smiling widely, as she rushed towards Deku, as they both threw out kicks after kicks, as their kicks collided with each other, making miniature booms of sound when their kicks collided with each other as wind pressure was created. villains in this area are laying low because of Mirko. She's one of the more battle crazy of the heroes, and she doesn't hold back against anyone. She loves to fight strong opponents, regardless if they're hero, villain, or civilian. She's met some civilians that gave her a good fight, now and then. Mirko could tell this long green-haired guy looks to be around the age of 18 or 19. He's clearly not normal. And having long green hair and green eyes is not a typical trait she's came across. She's only came across one person with those traits. With a similar hair trait and eye color. And she's a powerful villain. She originally thought he might be related to her. Both Mirko and Deku threw out rapid kicks that pretty much continued to collide with each other, making the cars on the side of the street go flying into nearby buildings from the wind pressure. Deku's guard was broken as Mirko landed a powerful and vicious spin kick to the side of his face as he goes shooting off like a rocket, as his feet is skidding across the street until he finally stopped. He wasn't expecting that. Things are finally getting fun. He might not show it on his face, but he's getting hyped for the battle. He's highly enjoying himself as he ran forward, attacking even faster, making Mirko hard to keep up with him. To follow all of his movements, as he landed a solid gut punch and a spin kick across her face as she goes flying backwards, eventually maneuvering her body into a flip as she recovered and landed to her feet. Mirko wiped the blood from her mouth with her thumb. Now that's what I'm talking about. Shall we kick it up a notch, Hira? You really know how to treat a woman. It would be my pleasure. As they both rush towards each other, one with a calm expression on his face, as the other has a crazy grin on her face. As you could constantly hear sounds of very intense battle echoing through the sealed off part of the city that is run by the villains. Meanwhile, in the League of Villains base of operation right now, at the bar, he's watching the fight between the hero and Deku on the monitor. He was watching the fight live between the pro hero known as Mirko and the green hair guy that his sensei told him about. Is that the one you were talking about, sensei? Indeed. He's the one I told you about. Not bad, he's powerful. Not a lot of people can keep up with that pro hero. She's more of the vicious ones. That she is. I have no problems with the new addition as long as he knows I'm the one in charge. Highly doubt you have any difficulty with him. As long as he doesn't challenge my orders, I'll have no problem with him. Be a shame I would have to kill him to waste such promising potential. At the same time, another group of villains were watching the fight on a monitor. The League of Villains rival. As you can see, they're in an unknown location. The room is filled with different villains of all different levels. The leader of this group is watching the monitor with her daughter. Nice, the guy's good. I would have to agree with you there, daughter. He is quite skilled. It seems like the League of Villains has a powerful new recruit. Wait, he's with the League? According to my sources, he's one of their new promising recruits. I keep close tabs on the League of Villains recruiting and who they recruit. I want you to keep an eye on this one. And with your stealth skills, I highly doubt that would be a problem. Don't worry, Mom. I'll take care of it. What exactly are you planning, Mom? Nothing yet. I need to know more about this new recruit. There has been no record of him. He's literally a ghost. How could? I don't understand, Mom. How could that even be possible? There should be some record of him. That's the thing, Izumi. He just appeared out of nowhere. No criminal record, not even a school record. He's a completely unknown. Cut back to Deku, dodging several kicks as he's bobbing his head to the left and right. So what's your name, pretty boy? As she threw another kick, only to see Deku hop over her leg and use her leg as a springboard, and immediately went into a spinning kick, forcing the hero to block by crossing her arms. Names Deku as he lands swiftly on his feet from the spin kick. She blocked his spin kick with her knee, then threw out a spin kick of her own, only to see Deku duck under her leg. As much as I would like to continue this little fun activity we have going, my patrol is almost over. I go by Mirko. Keep your nose clean, Deku. I would hate to have to bring you down. As the pro hero gave him a wink as she jumped away. It's a shame that fight was... It's a shame that fight was quite pleasant. I know at the end of this, I'm going to have to kill her. And many others. Enjoy your life while you can, Mirko. Don't fret, the rest of your pitiful species will join you. Who knows? If you get lucky, you might be one of many trapped in one of the cities that I plan to shrink to add to my collection. As Deku turned his back to the retreating form of the hero and made his way towards the direction of the bar. He's still about 5 blocks away from their current location. As that's where we're going to stop it for now. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Judge it by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.